So I wanted to do a review today of my Boundary Waters bag and what I bring, in hopes to maybe give you guys some ideas of what to bring or what not to bring. I know my bag has changed quite a bit over the last few years. I feel like I got a pretty good set of core items, like my bag, my shelter, my cook set, and stuff like that. And so I think this review will help people that are going to the Boundary Waters or just any like overnight canoe trip. So yeah, this is SealLine Boundary Pack 70-liter dry bag. And I know when I first went to the Boundary Waters, I brought I think it was like a 70-liter Kelty, and I think this bag is a lot easier for getting in and out of the canoe, and just for peace of mind, knowing that if we were to tip or something like that, my bag's gonna float, none of my stuff's gonna get wet. And it's nice not to have all the extra pouches and pockets and everything, so you can just basically pick it up, toss it in your canoe, and pull it out. So these are my camp shoes. This is what I basically wear around camp. So I just strap those to the outside. They're just Crocs. So this is the bag. These are the straps on the back, which are pretty nice. You know, I wouldn't recommend this bag for like a backpacking trip or anything like that. I feel like it does pretty good for just portaging. There are some pretty lengthy portages in the Boundary Waters, and I've never had an issue. It's got a hip strap, and it is nice. It rides kind of low, so if you do want to, you can throw your pack on and throw your canoe on over your shoulders too. And so yeah, let's get into it. So I will say one thing about loading these bags up. You can see in there I have my shelter, which is basically just a tarp, and my rain gear right on the top. So if you need to, you can get in there. And a lot of the other like quick items, I got extra clothes. Just kind of pack your bag. When you're packing your bag, just think about like what you might need if it starts raining, or if you're not going to get to your campsite until dark. Maybe throw your cook set on top, so if you want to cook lunch or something on the way there. So I got all my rain gear in here, and this is what I use for a rain jacket. This is a Columbia OutDry, and this is the best like packable rain jacket that I've ever had. I just bought it this year, and I just got back from the Boundary Waters a couple months ago, and so I used this, and it rained pretty much every day for about, I saw the sun for like a half hour one day. It was literally raining the whole time. And I'm going to do separate reviews on some of this stuff, and this is going to be one of them, because I want to just go into a little bit more detail about it, because it's like a whole different technology than what you're used to with these packable rain gear. So if you can kind of see how shiny this one is compared to this one. So these are my rain pants, and you see how shiny it is on the inside. Kinda, not really. Basically, the membrane that is on the inside of these pants, Columbia has put on the outside, and what you get with these packable rain gear, and I've had a lot. I've had so many rain jackets. Is wet out is what they call it, and so the fabric on the outside will get wet, and it'll keep your breathable membrane, that's what's keeping you dry, from breathing. And if it gets dirty on the outside, it keeps it from breathing. So basically you're wearing like a wet cloth over the top of a thin, now non-breathable, kind of like a plasticky, what keeps you dry fabric. And so I'm going to get the out dry rain pants for sure, but I had these, and I also brought a pair of like rubber pants, which I ended up wearing most of the time because this stuff will not keep you dry all day in the pouring rain. This did. I was surprised. I've never had a rain jacket that kept me dry that was like a packable, lightweight, breathable rain jacket. I have not had it keep me dry all day. And I don't know if I'm dry or if I'm just like, I'll notice on my shoulders they'll go first, and so it'll feel like they're wet. But maybe if it's like this material and the outside layer gets wet and your skin's not, and you're not able to breathe, maybe it's just sweat or what, I don't know. But it doesn't keep you dry. So yeah, that's my rain gear, and my shelter's in here. This is a Kelty Noah 12x12 tarp, and I keep my guide wire or guide rope in here, so I can basically throw, if I have to set up shelter or I get to camp, I can throw my rain gear on and run this guide wire across. This is the center of my tarp, and it clips right onto my guide wire, and I basically can pull this bag off, set up both points of my tarp, and have a shelter set up. And I might do a review of setting up that. It's a nice tarp. I've had the Kelty Noah for quite a while. And so I'll just put all my clothes in here. I don't have any of them in there right now. What I do for extra clothing is basically a pair of wool socks, a pair of wool underwear, and an extra t-shirt just for sleeping at night. And I also bring a down coat in case it gets real cold. And so another thing to keep in mind, a lot of my Boundary Waters trips or canoe trips are in the spring or fall. I never really go up in the middle of summer just because of bugs and the heat. And then I just have a bag with rope in it. So I'll bring an extra 100 yards of rope and some shot cord just for setting up shelters. Sometimes I bring an extra tarp just to sit under. And my cook set. So this is I think it's the GSI Soloist, and it comes in this bag, which is nice. So it's a titanium cook pot, and it came with all of this. And so I think this is my stove. It's got the igniter right on it, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to have your lighter on you. And I think this came with an insulated cup and a spork, collapsible spork. I think that's it. But basically how I use it is, like, I'll have this and my stove inside, and I also have a fuel canister. I use the MSR canister. It's the bigger one, so I can set my stove on it and it won't tip, and it fits in here perfectly. And it's nice, this pouch is nice because after you get all this black soot and stuff from throwing it in the fire, it doesn't get all the rest of your gear all dirty. The pouch is actually waterproof too. I think it's for doing dishes or something like that. And I also have like a gear bag. This is just an Eddie Bauer gear bag. I have carabiners, roll of duct tape, just wrapped around a pen, lighter, there was a bunch of fire starters in there, spatula. My water filtration system is basically the CNOC, what is this? The Vecto. The CNOC Vecto, which threads right into your Sawyer Mini. So I use the Sawyer Mini, and what's nice about this is you can just go over to the lake, open that up, and scoop as much water as you want. You can almost get this whole thing full in one scoop. And hang it from a tree, or you can squeeze it out real quick into a bottle. And what else here? Titanium Sea Summit Sport, water bottle. I got the Wowtac A2s headlamp. So you can wear it as a headlamp like this, or you can slide the flashlight out. It's just held in by two rubber loops, and now you got a flashlight. It's a nice light. I also have this collapsible water container. This is the Hydro Pack water container. Works pretty good. And then just caffeinated flavors to put in your drink. This blows up into like a lantern that you can hang from your guide wire next to your hammock. It's solar charged. It's the Lucy. I think I ordered it off Amazon. And then bug spray, charging cable, the Leatherman Wingman. I like this one just because it's got the spring in the handle. I don't know why, but I would always pinch myself with those other Leathermans. Carabiner. And I also have a, oh yeah, so this headlamp, I also carry a Anchor, I think it's like 2100 milliamp battery pack, just for charging like my GoPro and my headlamp. So you can take the 18650 out of here and you can charge it with just a standard like Android charger, which that's what I bring the cable for. Alright, and I also bring a chair. This is one of those collapsible chairs I got on Amazon. Pretty easy to set up, just a few poles. This is the Sun Year. Sets up pretty quick. It's easy, and after sitting in a canoe all day, the last thing I wanted to do was come home and sit on a log. I love that chair. I will always bring a chair. This is a table that I ordered off Amazon, which is nice to have around camp. It's kind of like the chair. It's just a few poles that sets up and it rolls out the top. I might do a separate review on that. I might do a separate review on that and the chair and stuff like that and set them all up. So this is my saw. This is an Agawa canyon-boreal 21 saw. And I'm going to show you quick how it sets up. So that's the saw, and I got the it's the Sydney Rancher blade for it. I also ordered a sheath for it because I put, so when I pack it, I try to put this, my axe, and my table in the middle and put like my clothes bag and stuff like that around it. And what happened was, I don't know how this, it must have got moved to the outside of the bag, throwing it in and out of the canoe. I ended up getting like a little puncture hole right here. And so I think the leather sheath will probably help with that. And then I just got like a bathroom bag, so I got hand sanitizer, deodorant, Tylenol, ibuprofen, Tums, Benadryl, some floss picks, and lotion, wipes, toothpaste, sunscreen. These body wipes are actually really nice. If you go when I go, the water is freezing, and you can get away with just doing some body wipes. They're like a huge, it's like a huge rag, and you can wipe down with it. And some of my cooking stuff, which I wrap in this old shirt, just because I don't want to get all the black soot all over all my gear. And what it is my MSR titanium plate, or no, Snow Peak. And I got the GSI 6-inch pan. Awesome pan. If you're gonna make pancakes or anything like that. Gotta have a good pan. That's what the spatula's for. And frying fish. And then I have my Condor Axe. I've had this for a long time. Condor was really good. The first year I had it, I beat the tar out of it and broke the handle. And I sent the head back to them and they put a new handle on it for me. And that handle's been doing good, but I also haven't been beating on it. I think it's the Condor Greenland Axe. It's the mid-size. So then I also have my, this is what the Kelty Noah tarp came in, was this bag, and I use it for my hammock. So in here is my hammock straps. There's some straps I ordered off Amazon. These are really nice. You basically just wrap them around the tree, and so you'll wrap this end around the tree, run this through, and there's all these little loops on there so you can clip your hammock onto either one. And then when I bought my hammock, it came with a free snake, which is basically this you just, when you clip it onto your straps, the snake slides up on both sides. So when you're done, you just pull the snakes down and they come together, and it puts your hammock into basically like a fat rope. And this is the Hennessy Expedition Zip, which is nice. There's some tent pegs in here too, which is nice because it's got a bug net and you zip it open to get in, and there's a guide wire that goes across the top with a little bag and so then I got my sleeping bag. This is the Cabelas XPG 15 degree, and this is the Sea to Summit event bag. Put your sleeping bag in here and it basically sucks all the air out of it when you compress it. This is the event material that when you push the sleeping bag down in there, the air goes out but won't go back in. So it's a down sleeping bag, and as you can see it compresses down pretty good, and I've never had an issue with this. It's an awesome bag. I pretty much use it year round for everything. I don't, like I said, I don't do a lot of hammock tenting in the summertime. But that paired with this is the Klymit Hammock V, and I think it came out last year. So it's a big pad that you blow up and throw inside your sleeping bag, and it's got these wings on the side that go up along the sides of your sleeping bag or your hammock. So you blow it up, you throw it in there. It also has an insulation value of, I'm not sure. It also has this rubber material on both sides of it, so it doesn't slide around in your hammock and it doesn't slide around between you and your sleeping bag. So between this and this XPG 15 degree, I haven't been cold in the winter time or any other time that I've been up in the Boundary Waters or just doing a canoe trip down the river, like an overnight, and it's been an awesome bag for me. I think in the summertime, you know, obviously it's going to be a little much. You could just bring like maybe this and a blanket. The other thing about this is it kind of opens up your hammock a little bit to where you can, if you angle it, you're basically sleeping flat. So yeah, the way I pack this, basically just shove this in the bottom, And I have all this other stuff in all these smaller bags to make it easier for taking things in and out that you need or don't need at the time. Alright, and so that's basically kind of your core things that I use. Then on my person, I have a pair of knee highs, and thermos full of coffee. This is, oh, and I also have coffee in my gear bag usually, but I drank it all when I was there. So I'll bring a thermos full of coffee, drink it on the way in, but also use it around camp. Like if in the morning time when I make coffee, it's nice to be able to throw it in an insulated thermos and have it out for the day, especially if it's raining all day and cold and windy. Some wool socks, long johns, and these are the Under Armour 4.0s. I like these. Sometimes I just end up using like a pair of merino wool or just wool long johns that I got at Army Surplus store. That's usually what I'll bring as a backup pair that I sleep in, just because these aren't, they're kind of tight. And then I'll also be wearing the Fall Raven, I think these are the Beta Pros or something. I'm not sure. And then full brim hat, usually. This one's pretty nice. I hate these magnetic things on the side. Usually you'll have your hat all the way down, and it'll be pouring down rain, and a gust of wind will come by and just blow your flaps up. Now you're getting rained on, and you pull them back down and right back up. But I think I'm going to cut those magnets out. Nice hat. It's a good hat though. Lightweight, very comfortable. And for my base layer, I'll have a Patagonia merino wool long sleeve shirt. I also bring a beanie, and that might, whether it's this or my full brim hat, I don't know, I'll just stick that in my pocket or something. And then I also I got a knife and a belt, and the knife that I use is LT Wright GNS, and it's AEB-L stainless steel. It's got a convex edge on it. So I have a lot of knives, and a lot of them are like high carbon bushcraft knives. And I don't know if it's just me being lazy or what, but I would always come back with a rusty knife. And this stainless steel, this is AEB-L stainless steel. Doesn't rust at all, holds a very good edge, and yeah, I don't know if it's just the climate, like Minnesota seems like a rainforest throughout all summer, and all your stuff's always wet. I also just wear like a light shirt over the top of my base layer, and then if it's real cold out, I'll either put my raincoat on just to block the wind, or I'll put my down coat with my raincoat on over the top of that. So that's basically what I have on my person, and I also carry like a little flashlight too, and that's all the gear that I bring in my main bag. I also bring like a little boat bag which has my tackle, and I'll bring like a depth finder, a little depth finder battery. My depth finder's in there, and just little things like that. So yeah, other than that, I hope this video will help you as you pack for your Boundary Waters trip or canoe trip or any sort of backpacking trip you're doing. And yeah, I'm gonna do some more reviews on some of this other gear that I didn't really go into much detail with. I want to do a review of this Agawa canyon-boreal saw. I think this saw is awesome. I've had a lot of those folding saws and stuff like that that you can throw in your bag, and to me a bow saw is so much better than a folding saw. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about any of this gear, or if you want more of like an in-depth review of some of it. And other than that, thanks. GoPro, stop recording. So what I forgot to mention was that this bag also is going to be carrying my food as well. What I like to do is usually I'll do some dehydrated meals, and I make them myself. So I'll dehydrate like spaghetti and goulash and stuff like that. I'll bring rice, instant potatoes. The first night I usually will bring like a rack of pre-cooked smoked ribs and just wrap them in tin foil and throw them on the grate. Some oil and fish batter and stuff like that. The dehydrated spaghetti and goulash and stuff like that is pretty easy to make. So if you have like leftovers one night after eating spaghetti, you can just take it and throw it on some wax paper on your dehydrator and dehydrate it. And by the next morning you can throw it in a Ziploc bag or whatever. And so yeah, anyways, my food bag for like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 nights will be like about that wide and about that long. And so yeah, I just also wanted to mention that I also have my dehydrated food and stuff like that in here, so thanks. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about why I bring what I bring. So like the knee-high boots, for instance, I basically wear them in, so it's not like anything I have to pack or throw in my bag or anything like that. Getting in and out of the canoe, it's nice to be able to keep dry feet. And when you're portaging, some of these portages, when it's raining and stuff like that, are just mud, slosh. I mean, they're just nasty. And so to be able to just throw on a pair of knee highs and trudge through all that stuff all day, do all your portages, and then get back to like camp, throw on a pair of Crocs and be done with it is the best way that I've found. Especially when it's kind of cooler out. Going out and fishing in the boat and stuff in the rain all day, and just to have dry feet and not worry about them getting wet. Let's see, so the other thing, like the 15-degree bag, it's just a nice all-around bag. I mean, you could get away with something maybe a little bit like a 30-degree or something like that, but it's like my 15-degree packs down to literally nothing, so why not? I mean, in that, and then also if I'm going to spend the money, I might as well just get that rating, so that if I pair that with that Klymit V pad, I mean, I'm pretty much good for anything. Let's see, what else? Some of the stuff that I bring is, I mean, I know that there's lighter options out there, but this stuff just, I mean, it keeps me comfortable when I'm out in the bush for a week, you know. Like the water filtration system, for instance. I've had the pumps and stuff like that, and it sucks going out and sitting on the bank and pumping Nalgene after Nalgene. The gravity feed system is awesome. This isn't a very big system. I mean, I can hang that and fill both my water bottles when I'm splitting wood or cutting wood or whatever. It's nice to be able to do something else while your water's being filtered. There are bigger bags. I think Canadian makes like a big bag that has a filter in the bottom of it. And yeah, these gravity fed systems I feel like are a lot nicer, and there's really nothing to them. It's just a bag and a filter. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff and what I bring and why I bring it. So yeah.